YouTube! This is a 5-hour, 10-minute dueling book duel. Yes, you heard that correctly. This is a 5-hour duel. Let's see what happened and why it's so dramatic. Looks like bottom player here, John Jones, is gonna go first. We're playing Sword Soul versus Tri-Brigade Liverlusk. Let's try and understand what happened here. So in real time, this was 4 minutes. It took 4 minutes to summon Moi after getting drolled. Interesting. And then we're gonna Veil of the Moi after all. And then we're going to drop long one a minute later. Make Verte! Wow, make Verte through 2 hand traps. Amazing. Look at this. This is like 3 negates if you think about it. And that's going to be game. All right, well, I mean, in terms of gameplay, that was only a 13-minute duel. So whatever happens in game 2 and 3 is going to be really crazy. Doesn't seem to be any drama so far. Banishes Imperm, resolves Cobalt. That pass. Okay, no problems here. All seems reasonable. So this is only 20 minutes into the duel so far. All right. Now he's going to use the talents instead of using the droplet. Could have chained the droplet to the talents here to negate this and have an extra card, but whatever. We're not here for the gameplay. That's what it is. And then this should just be game here. Banishes 3, Rugal, access code. That's game. Okay, so this was a completely normal, reasonable, regular game of just boring-ass Sword Soul versus Tri. So what happens in game 3 that makes this a 5-hour duel? I have to pee, be right back. Where were you? Making dinner. How long was this guy gone for? 28 minutes, he said, I have to pee, and then came back a minute later. And then his opponent said, I'm back too. So his opponent went and made dinner for 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, a bit unorthodox, but not completely absurd, I suppose. So his opponent activates Nerval, he ashes the Nerval, and then he tells him, now he's trying to talent, but now he says, I have not used an effect. Yes, you did. Oh yeah, draw. Okay, right. So there's still no issues. Why did this end up being 5 hours? I'm scared. Normal summons Taya. On normal summon, hey, you had something. Not 5 summons yet. No, you had something. It's an illegal activation of Nibiru. Wait, what are they talking about? Nothing happened. 45-19, he normal summons Taya, declares the effect of Taya. 5 seconds later, he says on normal summon, checks grave, views grave, etc., and then says okay. So now it looks like Red is trying to force him to activate a card. But like he wasn't forced to activate anything. He was just thinking on the summon of Taya. Okay, that seems to not be an issue. So they move past it. We deal some damage and we pass turn. Okay, we go to the main phase now. Pitch Keras, Kit, special summon, Kit effect, dumps Nerval, Nerval add Kit, banishes 4 for Keras, says okay. All right, banishes Baron, links off for 2, summons Bear Blossom, and we're searching Warbler with the Shirig. Blossom special summons Warbler from the hand. Warbler triggers to special summon Cobalt from the hand. Cobalt triggers. Oh, now he's gonna ask him, what did you add? Hit in hand, yes. Calls Judge. Why are we calling a Judge? You lied to me. You said you had Nibiru. I was going to go for game. I said it's an illegal activation of Nibiru. No, that's cheating. Oh, okay, so it's one of these situations. So back here on the previous turn, so red normal summons and blue says on normal summon thinking, and then red says question mark, you had something, and then blue says it's not 5 summons yet. And the red says no, you had something, and then blue says it's an illegal activation of Nibiru. What it looks like is happening here, red was trying to force blue to force out an activation of Nibiru. Blue is trying to do this weird bluff of saying it's not 5 summons yet, because I guess he's trying to bait him into like playing around Nibiru. I don't think saying it's not 5 summons constitutes telling your opponent you have Nibiru, but I guess you could probably interpret it like that. So I guess that's what the discrepancy is here. All right, let's see what the judge says. Okay, so now they're just kind of going back and forth. This doesn't really necessarily mean he has Nibiru. He's just doing a shit bluff. All right, so we're waiting for a judge to show up, it looks like. Finally! All right, so a judge shows up at 237 minutes into the match. That's like almost 4 hours in. All right, so eventually we've got a judge call here. Hi, what's the issue? A few issues here. This guy has been AFK for more than 6 minutes multiple times. Bro, you're waiting for a judge call. What do you want him to do? Sit at his computer and piss himself like you are, apparently? He lied and cheated to gain an unfair advantage. 3, I declared effect of Taya, but I never summoned the token. He is a troll you can see in the log. Ah, yes. Judge, do you mind checking this 239-minute log? Just check the log, Judge. He implied to me that I had to activate something now that I had decided to think about responding. I decided not to, and John decided not to use Taya's effect and proceeded to the battle phase. Why did you write on normal summon instead of think? I don't understand this logic. What's the difference? If my opponent normal summons, and then I say, wait, on summon, and then don't do anything, That's the same thing as thinking. There's no difference there. I want to think on summon, and then I can choose to not activate it. There's no difference there. I don't know like why we're getting like bogged down by the semantics of moving these goalposts of like difference between on summon and think. Like it's the same thing. With the limited response window given, less than 2 seconds tops. That's not entirely true. It was like 8 seconds. I decided I needed to stop you before you continue playing. A quick message was employed, and all I wanted is a response window. All right, they're just gonna go back and forth with each other arguing. Let's just wait to see what the judge says. Okay, still reading through the logs a bit, but first things first, there isn't going to be a rewind to the previous turn. It's a new turn and new private information has been revealed. Next, hey, you had something. John Jones, your opponent is allowed to think on each of your actions. Exactly, right? Like, I don't know what this was about. He was saying that, hey, you had something. Okay, yeah, you can't force your opponent to activate a card because they're thinking on the summon of your monster. When he wrote on normal summon, I thought he was going to use something. He did not declare any effect because he wrote that instead of thinking. Yes, but there was nothing to indicate he was doing more than just thinking since he didn't declare anything. So you can't force your opponent to use a card or effect that they have not even declared yet. Exactly. Now for the Nibiru situation. Okay, so the issue with this is that the I can't show it to you, but yeah comment was going too far there. Yeah, exactly. So like bluffing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is something that a lot of players aren't aware of unless they properly read the policy documents. But it's one of the few games where you're basically not allowed to bluff. Most bluffing in Yu-Gi-Oh! That people think is bluffing really is just cheating. I see you guys wanted to draw a bit ago, so do you guys want the match cancelled? Bro, let's just cancel the match at this point. I would like to play it out. Like I said before, you cannot force your opponent to activate a card that is not declared yet, and I'm going to give Rad a warning. There were multiple issues on both sides of this match, so what's going to happen is there won't be a rewind, and you guys will continue the game from this point. What's the warning for exactly, you see? You just said, would you like the match cancelled? Both players have to agree, and your opponent did not. What about my opponent AFKing for more than 6 minutes? Oh my god, he's really trying his hardest to get something here. I see your opponent went for 2.5 minutes once. I did not see the other instances of him going AFK that you mentioned. Right, stop talking for 1 second. So referring to after judge. In that case, he would not be punished for that because you were the one who called the judge and said you were not going to play and wait for a judge. Dude, is this guy trying to shark him for AFKing during waiting for a judge call? What does this guy think happens when you wait for a judge on Dueling Book? Do you think you call a judge and you sit there and you wait with your arms folded and clothed and you're just waiting for, like, what do you expect? Of course he's going to AFK while a judge shows up. Deceiving your opponent to gain an unfair advantage is allowed? I love the loaded question fallacy here. Judge rules against me. So what you're saying is that you're allowed to perform genocide and murder your opponent at an event. Is that what you're telling me, Judge? Wow, okay. Damn, these new rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! Are definitely really, like, a concern. Your opponent didn't directly say he had Nibiru in hand. See, it's really interesting. I said this at the start. I'm pretty sure, like, that is, like, the case, right? You know, when you guys were all spamming and chatting, saying, like, you missed it, you missed it. No, there was nothing to miss. He didn't directly say that he had Nibiru. He heavily implied it, but he didn't directly say it. So your play being impacted by the fear of a potential Nibiru is not cause here. You guys will continue the game. This some messed up trash. Okay, here we go. The game continues now. All right, let's see if this game plays out. Obviously, this is how you win games. Low-rated scum. Low-rated scum! You don't even have half my skill! Low-rated scum! You should just have game here, right? Yep. Looks like it. See if there's any other discrepancies during this match. Set one pass. Pot of Desires. Oh, wow. Good top deck here. Draws into... Holy crap. Bro, this guy just drew into, like, the out. Okay, let's see if you can do this. Do I know anything you have? Nibiru, maybe. He's trolling him. Yo, get him, rat. 0 cards in hand. Yeah, maybe Nibiru, I guess. 4-hour judge call after talking about this whole Nibiru thing, and he's like straight up like, Giga Chad, yeah, I might have Nibiru. This impressive level of skill sure does take its time. Think, shut up. You will never come close to me. God, this guy is so fragile. Can't win them all. Yeah, true. Why is there a judge here? Maybe he noticed you slow playing. Because you're playing extremely slow. At this point, it looks like stalling to me when I was watching. Special was fine. Make a play. Okay. Thanks for having my back, Toast. Let's go, Toast. Yo, any askers? Yo, do we have any askers here? Where did Toast come from? Yo, Toast, are you here? Toast, who asked? Did we call a judge? Where did you come from, Toast? Who asked? Why did he not bounce the token? All right. Whatever. Gets a draw here. Apollo negate. Chi-Shao chain. Negate Apollo. Chain droplet. Negate Chi-Shao. Res kit. Send Nerval. Nerval get fractal. Could have an Nibiru in hand now. I bet you're proud of yourself for the way you behaved. Shameless troll. Liar and cheater. I will never forget this match. Ever. Woo! And that concludes it. A 318-minute match. Which if we do divide that by 60 is 5 hours. And about 12 minutes. That was 5 hours. Judge was called at 52 minutes. The judge showed up at 237 minutes in. 237 divided by 60 is almost 4 hours in. A judge was called at 52 minutes, and they waited 3 hours. They waited 3 hours. Is my maths wrong? They waited 3 hours for a judge. Why would you do this to yourself? You could have played like 5 games in that time. Oh, I don't know who. I think they're both really sad for this, to tell you the truth. I think they're both really sad. And after all that time, John Joe over here didn't even win. Well, I hope the internet points were worth it. I guess the content is there, so that's what really matters. That's the story of the longest Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel ever recorded on Dueling Book. It really just came down to the judge taking 3 hours to show up, and the players being sad enough to really sit around and wait for it.